So we have a system here that has two equations, negative 3x plus 2y equals 10, 5x minus 5y equals negative 10. So let me remind you that these represent lines if we were to graph them. And we're looking for their point of intersection. Next week, we'll talk about what happens if we don't graph. How do we determine if it's, parallel lines, meaning no solution, or coinciding lines if it's infinitely many solutions. We'll learn about that, but that's next week. Let's look at this. So again, remember, we want the path of least resistance. We're looking for, when we were learning about fractions, the least common multiple between the coefficients. And we want them to be different signs. So do you notice that we already have opposite signs? Negative, positive, positive, negative. So that's good. We don't have to worry about putting a negative anywhere. But take a look at 3 and 5. What's the least common multiple between those two? 15, yeah. How about 2 and 5? 10. So this is one of those where we have to multiply both equations by some factor, because that's the only way we're going to find something. So we either want 15s for x, negative 15 and positive 15, or we want 10s for y, positive 10 and negative 10. Which one do you want? 15 or 10? 10, of course. We want the path of least resistance. So help me out, please. If I want 10s, this top equation gets multiplied by
5.
Okay, yes, 5 there. And then that means we multiply the bottom one by 2. Do either of those have to be negative?
No.
We already got a minus plus thing going on, so we don't need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that. We're going to have negative 15x plus 10y equals 50. One of the things that happens is sometimes I see people forget to multiply the other side of the equal sign by that factor. You have to multiply the whole equation. All right, let's do the other one. So 10x minus 10y equals negative 20. Okay? And these cancel, of course. We'll get negative 5x equals 30. So x has to be what value? Negative 5 times something is positive 30. Negative 6. Yeah, just if you can, do that division in your head. So we got one answer. Now we have a choice. We can take one of the original equations before we transform them, or the new ones. What do you want to try? Any particular preference? Let's do one of the originals. Smaller numbers. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to replace x with negative 6. Let's all do that. Let's do negative 3 times negative 6 plus 10y equals 50. Oh, what am I doing? No. I was looking at this one. Sorry. Thank goodness for... All right, let's try that again. 2 times y equals 10. That's better. Okay. So what's that going to be, guys? 18? Okay. Let's get rid of 10 here, or 18. We're going to get 2y equals -8. So y is going to be -4. So we have our solution. Six, -4. Okay. Oh, -6. Thank you. -6, -4. All right. How are we doing? Any questions? Okay, let's try this one. I want each table to figure out how to get rid of x and how to get rid of y. And I'll ask a random table to help me out with this. Okay, so we got -8x minus 8y equals 0. And we also have -5x minus 7y equals -12. Okay, so study it. I'm going to ask one group what do we need to do to get rid of x's? I'll find another group to tell me how to get rid of y's. One quick, notice on the left side, everything's negative. Well, everything's negative in everything, so. Okay, give it a try. Look it over, study it, decide how to get rid of x's, how to get rid of y's. So we want to get rid of x's. All right, Jose and Izzy. What can we try to get rid of these? What numbers should we try? Like, what number can I put here? What number can I put there?
You're going to multiply it by
-5 here. So that would give us -40 or +40. How about here?
And multiply that by 8.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them has to be negative. So if you choose to do your negative here, you'd get positive, and those would be opposite. This stays all negative. Okay. So we can do that. Basically get 40 and -40. How about to get rid of y's? What can we multiply through to get rid of y's? Let's see here. Kathy and Elena, what can I try here? What numbers can I multiply here and here? Let's start with -8. Huh? That would give us 16. What can I multiply 7 by to get a 16? You see what I'm saying? I don't think 2 would work. Well, another way to look at this is 8. What numbers go into 8 that go into 7? 7 is prime, right? 7, only 7 and 1 go into. So that pretty much tells you can't multiply through with anything other than the other coefficient. So you want to get a 56 and a -56. So what can I multiply the top by to get something here? 7. That means at the bottom, we would multiply by -7. I'm sorry, -8. -8. One of them has to be positive, one has to be negative. When they're the same sign, you don't have a plus and a minus stacked up, you have to multiply one of those two by a negative. Okay, so do we want 40s or 56s? 40s, yeah, smaller. I would go with that. Yes, 40 is a smaller number. Make it easier whenever possible. Okay, so let's multiply both of them. I think what was suggested was -5 here and 8 there. Let's go ahead and see. So this is going to be 40x, check my math, plus 40y, and then that equals 0 still, because -5 times 0 is 0. Here we're going to get -40, which is why we did all of this. And then -56 y equals -96. Is it going to be -8 times -12? -96. Okay. Ooh. All right. So cancel that. And this is going to be 40, take away 56. -16y equals -96. And that's going to be what? 6. Yeah, -16 times +6 is -96. Okay, y equals +6. Whew. All right, let's pick an equation. I always pick one of the original ones. Again, smaller numbers. So which one do you want to pick, the top or the bottom original? Bottom, okay. Bottom it is. I think that one's the best myself. And we're going to replace y this time. Okay, so we're going to replace y with 6. So let's see what we get. -5 times x minus 7 times 6 equals -12. Okay, so what's that going to be? Tell me what to write, please. Be my brain. What do I write down? -5x minus 42 equals -12. Okay, let's get rid of this 42. So we get -5x equals 30. So that means x is going to be, what do I get? So we get -6 comma 6 as our solution. I'll write that, I'll sneak it in here. -6 comma +6. All right. So I want you to work with your partner. And let's figure out this one, number 3. Oops, what am I doing? I'm already putting parentheses around this. Okay. 3x minus 2y equals 2x minus 5y equals 27. All right. So you have 2 positives stacked up, 2 negatives on the y's. So if you have to multiply both equations, which you will, remember one of them has to be negative. Okay? So collaborate, talk to each other, decide what to do to get rid of x, what to do to get rid of y, decide which is the best path and solve it. Okay, I'll give you some time. Okay, so I did it this way, getting rid of x's because it seemed easier. So I could have tried 5 and a -2 to get 10s here, but I went for -6 and 6. Okay, and so I multiplied through. This is what I got, and combined, I got -11y equals 77. So y has to be -7, and then I picked this equation to replace x with or y with -7. So I got 3x plus 14 is 2, and solve that, and I got x is -4. Did anyone else get -4, -7? All right. Well, let me write down the solution. -4, -7. Okay. All right. So today we're going to do one of the problems on delta together, and then you'll have 10 to do on your own. But it's guided, so I don't think you'll even need you will need paper.